and that Julia has left a tip. So I only see a fraction of what you see on your screen, so don't think I'm ignoring you. It's gone quite quickly, so maybe ask again or wait till the end and I'll do a question and answer. You have the icon to take a photograph of postcard, and I will try and stop when I think it's pretty, or if you see something you want a photograph of, let me know. And you click that, and when you finish the tour you can go into your dashboard and you'll be able to see all the postcards there. There is a help facility if you're having difficulty technically. You can ask Hago for help, or if it's something simple or quick you think, just pop it into the chat. There's lots of voyages on at the moment who will be able to answer your questions, because there's quite a few names I recognise. So if it's a sound issue, it's breaking up or something, sometimes refreshing the screen helps, or coming right out and going back into the tour, that will also help. And the same if the picture's freezing. At the moment I've got a 5 out of 5 signal, and Melrose has always been a good one for signal for me, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a good one for signal for us today. You know, these things are in the hands of the gods. It's not us. Right, okie dokie. So just to give you a bit of a heads up about the tour, this is a light-hearted look at Melrose. I'm not going to bang on deep into history with it, so if you're looking for an in-depth historical guide to Melrose, we've only got half an hour and we're going to cover quite a few wee bits, so that's not happening. This is just an introduction to Melrose. So if you're looking for in-depth history, that's not happening, okay? And I am going to look in an estate agent's window so you can see the prices in the area. I got marked down on that on the reviews, but people had been asking, and that's why I did it. And I will be doing it again today because I feel like it. Right, okay, now that I've upset everyone, I think we need to turn the camera around so you're not staring at me, and we'll get started. There we go. She says, turn the camera around, it's not going. That's never a good start when you get stuck on my face. Right. You know what, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but sometimes you just wonder, were they having a bad day? Right, so just I'm going to stop here just for a minute anyway, because their Christmas tree's gorgeous. Now Melrose itself, the population here is about 2,500, and the name is Gallic in origin. So Melrose, which basically meant bald moor or bare peninsula. So it was describing what the area looked like. I'm just going to give you a wee bit of a different angle on that, so you might, if you're wanting to take postcards. Now, to get to Melrose from Edinburgh, or vice versa, is about 1 hour and 15 minutes. So that's the travel time. Now, it's an ancient settlement. We're just south of the River Tweed, and the Eildon Hills are about a mile to the south, and they were once the home of the Votterdini tribe, which was their base during the Ice Age. So, yes. And we're about 3 miles from Abbotsford, which is on the banks of the Tweed, and that's on the west banks, and that is where Sir Walter Scott lived. It is beautiful, and some of the shops here are just gorgeous, but look at the Christmas decorations. They've got some really lovely craft shops here. So if you do happen to come to Melrose and you give yourself time to actually shop, look at the Highland cow, isn't that gorgeous? Because there's a lot to see. Right, so just to give you an idea of property prices, an apartment in Melrose, and I'll show you the sign right at the top here, it's under offer, and its guide price is £140,000. So that's for like Udderly. That's a kind of a guide price. Galashiels, which isn't too far, you have 1 bedroom, and that offers around 60,000. And then Hoyk, again a more modern house there, and that's 115. So just so you can get an idea of the property prices around this area. But of course there are properties that are much more expensive. But yeah, here's one of I like this wee shop, the Crafters, because they've got lots of border artists and designers, and they display kind of all the things. Look at the knitting. So it's like, and it's quite nice because they've got, look at the silver. I don't know if you can see that through the window. Yeah, when the borderline reopens, that will be fantastic. No, you couldn't get a shed for those prices in Edinburgh. It is so true. And it is getting dark now as well. So I'm just going to turn around and give you that tree from this angle. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, sorry, sweetheart. There you go. Isn't that pretty? Right, but I'm just going to show you the window again because we've got more. So you've got more tweed going on, and you can see there's lots of different artists. We've got glass here, paintings. So it really is, if you're going to be coming to Edinburgh or going into the borders, oh look at the owl, isn't that cute? It is worth, giving yourself a morning or an afternoon in Melrose if you're looking to take home presents and things here. So here's it shows you all the different artists. Oops, sorry, I just missed that. I'm going to scroll back and stand still for a second while I do it. I think you did this tour and I took my... Oh! So you can get pictures now. Oh, fantastic. In the borders, yes, sorry, Melrose is in the borders. We're in the borders now. So what we're looking at is we look down the street here. I'm going to keep an eye on the signal because I've had I can't get the signal further down here. So it's just to bear that in mind. So probably... Hi from, what's that, Ohio? Hello. Now, just ahead of us, if we were to keep going down this road, it would eventually take us out to where the rugby fields are. Oh, sorry, I'm missing this. Look, I'm going to scroll back again. The borders is the area on the edge of England and Scotland. Well, yeah, in Scotland we call it the borders with an S, and in England they call it the border with no S, because it was constantly moving. It's been several different places, so it's borders. So we always refer to it as the borders because there had been so many of them, or different locations for it. Now, the rugby pitches are at the bottom of, if we were to go to the bottom of the road here and continue on. Now, rugby sevens, Melrose is the home of the rugby sevens, and in the spring there's like almost a sort of carnival atmosphere when it's on and the rugby sevens is taking place. Although Melrose is the birthplace of the rugby sevens, it also has a rugby union team, so that's Melrose RFC. Now, the first rugby sevens tournament actually took place in 1883, and now it's an action-packed tournament where people come, teams come from all over the world, so New Zealand, South Africa, England, France, Portugal. But look how gorgeous the lights are down there. Isn't that beautiful? So if you're into rugby, Melrose should also be on your list. Right, now I'm going to just show you a little map to let you see where we are. Okay, so you are here. So if you want to take a quick picture of that, and then I'll come out and... Yeah, it's swung back and forward several times, and that's why it's plural. And then there's a map of the larger area, if that works for you. I don't know if anybody wants to take a little picture of that. Right, now. So there you can see the rugby stand, but I can't take you down to it. Oh, look there, in fact it says, for 1 week in April, each year, Melrose becomes the world centre for seven-a-side rugby. The game was founded in the town in 1883. There you go, and there's an all-year-round exhibition. Fantastic. Now, a mile to the east is Newstead. And this is one of the hotels, Burt's Hotels. You can come, if you come to Melrose and you want to stay the night. Isn't it lovely? It's gorgeous, isn't it? We have the largest Roman settlement, which is Trimontium. It was large enough to house 800 cavalry, and was probably the most northerly amphitheatre in the Roman Empire. Just look, I love the lights. I don't know if I'll try and let you see, because there's a lamp in the window as well, and it's really pretty. Oh, you can see it, look. Isn't that gorgeous? That's really nice. I haven't seen Melrose at Christmas before, so this is my first time too. But yeah, I really like the way they've done it. So just to let you see, we're standing at the townhouse and we just crossed over the road. So that's the other one of the other places you can stay. There's lots of places to stay around here, to be fair. I don't think, no, I think they've got ruins of things, and they had a huge hoard. Let me think now. So, yeah, so they had, it was like, the Romans army arrived here in AD 79 or 80, and then Trimontium was the place of the three hills, and they had a signal tower built on the north of the Trimontium. Three hills. It's they've actually got three peaks to them, and that, I'm waving my finger here trying to draw a picture, realising you can't see what I'm doing. Yes, so it has three peaks, and they actually built a sort of a signal tower or a shrine on the North Hill, the Eildon North Hill. The museum, though, which is just ahead of us, is actually dedicated to Roman life in Scotland. So if you're interested in the Romans, it is actually worth coming to see. They've just refurbished the museum. It celebrates Roman heritage in the area, but unfortunately it's closed, obviously, because of Christmas and things. But yes, let me see. Actually, I don't know if you can. Oh, you can see the sign. So you've got Trimontium Museum, and you can see a Roman. And this is the starting point of a 4-mile circular walk, taking in the Roman sites, including Newstead. Now, the new museum tells the story of the pivotal and turbulent history of the past, with links to the Romans when they came to Scotland. So you've heard of Hadrian's Wall, which is just over the borders in England, and then we have further up between Edinburgh and Glasgow, kind of running across the country, we've got Antonine Wall as well. Now, I'm actually going to have to take a drink of water because my throat's just gone really dry. Sorry, just forgive me for a second while I do that. I'll try and get something for you to look at while I try and get the bottle open. Sorry, it's just because I've got the cold. See, that's it. You don't, when you're in the house and you're only talking bits and pieces. When you're trying to do it for half an hour, that's when it all goes wrong. Oh, hello. That's a gorgeous dog. There, so hopefully you can see the Romans soldier's outfit there. Yeah, so the museum, it's a lovely museum. You can go in and they're very enthusiastic. Right, sorry. Right, okay, so we'll just head up here. Yeah, so the Romans, it was a really important site, the size of them and everything, and it had the largest hoard of military-related finds in the UK. Were found in the area here, so it is an important Roman site. If you are into your Roman history, then this is definitely a place again to come. Melrose is very small, but it packs quite a punch. It has a lot of things to see. Right, now I'm just going to try and get us across the road. Oh, it's looking lovely now, the lights, everything's really bright now. Let me just check, I think there is a phone in it. Sorry, moved too quickly there. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yes, there is a phone. The minimum charge is 60 pence. There you go. 60 pence. And that's just to dial the number. Right. That's actually quite difficult when it comes to change. But then I suppose you put a £1 coin in there, getting what's left. Quite, I can see. Oh! Now there's cars coming, so just bear with me. And he's turning that way. Okie dokie. There we are. Right. And I'm just going to show you this pub. The Ship Inn. Hopefully get across the road without getting run down. I don't know if you can see it, but I love the sign. It's actually a full-blown sailing ship. Can you see it there, just above the entrance? Isn't that gorgeous? And it's pet friendly, so you can take your dog into the pub. But there's lots of lovely little shops and things here. Just giving you a little panorama as we go round. There you are. So that's the Market Cross. Oh, fishmongers. I don't know if you can see it, but the sign is fantastic. The letters are sticking out. So it's fishmongers, Anderson's, and then poultry. Isn't it fantastic? It's brilliant when things tell you exactly what they are. You know, there's no mistaking what that is. Right, so I will take us over to the Market Cross, but I'm just going to try and let you see it from here so you can get a picture, hopefully. Now, the Market Cross, the octagonal base that you can see there dates to the 1800s. The unicorn was remade in 1990. The original Market Cross was actually at the sort of entrance to the abbey precinct called the Bow. And if you see something like upper bow, that means upper entrance. Nether bow, nether bow, lower entrance. So the entrance to the abbey, it was called the Bow. Traditionally, the Market Cross is a symbol of trading rights for Scottish towns and villages. We have a unicorn on the top of this one, which means we're standing in a royal borough or a former royal borough. Royal borough status means you can trade with the world, not just your neighbours. So you would have a huge market. You would have to pay higher taxes and things for the status, but it was for a town, it was a very important status symbol to become a royal borough. Right, now I'm just going to try and get us across to have a wee closer look at the column, and hopefully we can see it. Right, I'm going to show you the shaft. As we look up, almost in the centre of the screen now, you can see this sort of dark thing sticking out. If I come around to the side, you might see it stick out a bit better. Do you see it? Yeah, you see it. Okay, that was where the Jugs Market is the old word for market. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so that's where the Jugs would be attached. In fact, if I look up here, you might be able to see through it. So you've got this metal staple, which would have a metal chain and a metal collar. Then if you were being punished by public humiliation, you would have the collar, the metal collar, placed around your neck whilst it was attached to the Market Cross or the Market Cross, and then you would suffer a day of public humiliation where everyone would know what you'd been up to, what you'd done wrong, and this was your punishment. It was a way to control people. Now, a law was passed by King William I. He ruled, I think it was 1165 to, was it 1214? And it required that goods for sale in boroughs be presented at the market and Market Cross. So that's kind of where it all started, where this symbol, sort of status symbol, kind of came into. So the unicorn at the top is the one that everybody wanted, but it was much more expensive because of the tax implications. So you had to have a Market Cross for trading to take place, but this is also where proclamations would be read. Any news that was needed to be given out to the town would be done from here. Oh, that's quite pretty, isn't it? So you can see the Christmas tree. Oh, that's lovely. So most places you'll see will have, well, not everyone's still got their Market Cross, but usually it's kind of like 3 or 4 steps at the bottom, and then you have the column, and then whatever's important is on the top. So I'm just going to flick around again so you can see it from a distance. So we're looking straight at it. So if you imagine the sort of octagon at the bottom there being steps, that's what a normal Market Cross would look like. Then you have this column, and then at the top, whatever is important to the town. So if it's goats, it could be a goat. If it was, I don't know, sheep, you might have a sheep, or the coat of arms of the rich family. So yeah. Oh, and this is a lovely shop just across here. get us across and we'll have a little look. So the gallery in Melrose, they do some beautiful, there's quite a nice, hi.
Oh, hello.
I'm not talking to myself.
Oh,
No, sorry, I'm live streaming.
Oh.
So I'm just showing everybody. Everyone's laughing now. Sorry. There we are. But isn't it beautiful? So, like I say, if you ever get the chance to come to Melrose, you've got to give yourself enough time to actually. Oh, look at that! Look at the puffins. Very cool. So yes, give yourself time here because there's so much to see. And Abbotsford is fantastic. That's the home that Sir Walter Scott built himself, and it's furnished with lots of artefacts from Scotland's history, and it's a very short drive from here. It's about 3 miles. It's not far, so definitely the Scottish borders are not to be overlooked. Everyone does. They always want to go to the Highlands. They don't realise how much there is to see here. So if you do get the chance, definitely put it on your itinerary. Oh, look at the stag. I can't quite get a clear picture of that, sorry. Isn't that gorgeous? That's not too bad. I know, that's the trouble. It's trying to pick where to go and what to see. No, it's a difficult one. Yeah. But Melrose, I like Melrose. Right, so we're just going to take a little wander down to the Abbey now. How's the time? Oh, we're okay, we're fine. Now, as we come down here, there's actually... Sorry, I'm trying to get the gimbal to go up, but it's kind of dropping down on me. Oh, now it's gone too high. There we go. That'll do. Yes. Because Melrose is old, it was built a long time... A lot of the houses here were built before, as you can imagine. Traffic, cars... It's all horse and carts before, and that's why a lot of it's one-way systems, because as we look back towards the Market Cross, you can see how narrow the street is. So when you do come, it's really easy to walk around because it's quite compact, but it can be interesting if you're driving and you've not driven in Scotland before, because the streets are very narrow, so just bear that in mind. Yes. Right, so... There is a beautiful garden. Oh, this is the public toilets. Yeah, the one good thing about Melrose is they still have public toilets. So yes, it's one of those things. For some strange reason, a lot of places have closed them down, and it's not like we've stopped needing them. So yes. Anyway, there, heads up on that one. Right, now just ahead of us is the Priorwood Garden, and that is run by the National Trust for Scotland. Hello. That's run by the National Trust for Scotland, and it's dedicated to the art of flower arranging. And it's actually got a really impressive variety of heritage apples as well. It's got a sort of rustic walled garden, and it's actually located in what was part of the Abbey, and you can just see it ahead of us. You can see the Abbey coming into view. So it was in the precinct of the Abbey. You can actually go in. There's places where you can have picnics. Obviously, there's the orchard, which has got 90 varieties of apples. And they also are, I think they're the only garden that's dedicated to dried flowers in Scotland, I think. So the apples, they've got 70 heritage varieties and 90 in total. Oh no, I think it was actually the first garden in Scotland that was dedicated to dried flowers. So it's got a lovely choice of flowers and herbs and things like that, and a nice shop. And they do courses, little courses and things. Yeah, the wall. This is the wall to the garden. So we can't actually see it because it's closed, but if you look up here you can see some of the ironwork. But yes, behind this wall we've got an orchard and a lovely garden and things. So... Excuse me. Oh, dearie me. Oh, and I love the gate. They've got a really old door to the garden, but unfortunately we can't usually see through it. But yeah. So, I'll just stand back. So you can come to places like this. I could maybe name 10 apples, but I think I'd be pushing it. So it's a beautiful old doorway, but you can see it's got a little wreath on it. And a lot of places, like in the National Trust, like Falkland and things, in the wintertime they do these lovely wreath making courses. So you can go along and learn how to make Christmas wreaths and things, which is nice. And this is another lovely little art shop, as you can see. This is my way of trying to get you to come to the Borders, because it is overlooked most of the time, but it has some treasures. Here we go. Right, now let me see. I'm going to take us down and we'll have a little look over here first, and then we'll come back to the Abbey. There. So just ahead of us, in that white building, there's a garden there. You can probably see the house, the hothouse is behind it. But we'll just have a little peek across the wall, because there's a lovely Roman pillar that has been recreated. I don't think we can get into it though, because the gate's looking shut. But I'll let you have a little look over the wall at the house. There's a beautiful museum as well, with lots of Roman artefacts that was open as well, but unfortunately a lot of it's closed down because of, well, COVID, but manning the place. It had been kind of done on trust. No, I don't think you're going to get to see it, the layout of this, because it's beautiful. No, sorry, it's too dark. But people can't be trusted, and unfortunately some of the artefacts were stolen, so they had to basically give in and shut it down. So we will get other views of the cathedral, but I'm just going to let you see it from here. Now, this cathedral was loved by Robert the Bruce, and he chose it as his final resting place for his heart. So this is where Robert the Bruce's heart is buried. Now, it's a magnificent ruin, and even from here you can see it's on a grand scale. It is not a small abbey, and it was sort of at the time it was the place to be buried. So 11 going into the 1200s, this was the place that anybody who was anybody wanted to be buried. So yes, it was founded in 1136 by David I. So we've spoken about Queen Margaret before on my tours, St Margaret. So her son was David I, and he founded a lot of the border abbeys. So yes, so this is one of them. Now I'm going to just have a little look down here for a second to see if we can get a view through the gate, but we might be able to get, no, I don't think so, but right, let me see. I'm going to stick you through just so you can see. There you, I don't know, how's that? Are you managing to see it? You see the window through the window? Isn't that gorgeous? So I'm just going to hold it there for a second, and then I'm going to bring it back. Okay. Right, back we come. Because I want to walk round the side so you'll get a view of the side as well. Okay. Sorry. It is beautiful at night because it's lit up. And the colour of the stone is this beautiful kind of pinky sandstone. So when they put the lights on it, it just glows. It's gorgeous. So, founded in 1136. It's in the Borders, a lot of the border abbeys. When we were having sort of difficulties with our neighbours, a lot of the border abbeys were destroyed and then rebuilt or not rebuilt. Generally conflict just when you're arguing, these things happen. But I'm going to pop you through the gate here. I'm trying to get it so you're not getting a glare. There, how's that? Is that okay? I'll hold it there for a minute. Now, it was a Cistercian abbey, if anyone's interested in the order. Some of the architecture is beautiful. They've got lots of detail on it. You've actually got a pig playing the bagpipes up here as well. There's all sorts of things. Now I'm just going to take us round the corner. I realise I've run out of time, so I'm going to be quick. Get round so you can get a side view of it, because I realise I don't know how I've run out of time, because I thought I was doing well. So the Cistercians were drawn to the fertile soil, and they were closely linked with St Aidan and St Cuthbert. Right. I'll just come along a little bit so you can get... I'll poke you through the railings. So when I get to the bend here, I'm not going to go too far along because it's pitch black along there and I will fall. Right. So just under the lamppost there. Right, bear with me 2 seconds. I promise I'm not going to hold you too much longer. I just want to make sure you get a nice postcard of this. There, isn't that beautiful? Right. So, yeah. See, when David I actually founded this, he was trying to show his piety and his power over the controversial territories, which is the borders. So yeah, and this was the first Cistercian monastery in Scotland. Right. Oh, what's that? Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to say, I know I've run out of time, hopefully you've got it. Monastic life actually continued here for about 450 years. And at last monk was John Watson, who died around 1590. And at that point we were going through the religious reformation. The abbey was used as a parish church until the new kirk was built in... A kirk is a church, was built in 1910. Yeah. It's a visitor attraction now, so although you can get married here, there are weddings that take place here, but it's not used as a church for a congregation because it's a ruin. So yeah, sorry that was a flying visit. I've gone over time. I'm really sorry about that. But yes, I'm just going to bring you back to me now, because I don't know what happened to the time there. We just seem to have... Stunning place for a wedding, definitely. Yeah, I have actually seen a wedding there and it was just beautiful. Yeah, pictures are fantastic. Now, if you like the tours, there is a follow button you can click, and if you click that, then you follow me, so whenever I put a new tour on or something like that, they let you know. Thank you. I hope everyone enjoyed it. It was just nice getting to go out somewhere different. Like I say... the borders, you need to... Oh, look, there's the abbey behind me there. I'm going to stop there. Yeah, so I will enjoy New Year, no problem. Yes, I can't wait. I think we need a better year than last year. So yeah, bring it on. Thank you everybody that's leaving a tip. I really appreciate it, because it's how we get paid. And I hope you all have a really good New Year if I don't see you on any of my other shows. And look out for my 100th show. I'll see what I can do. I was so set on the botanics at night. So yeah, we'll see what I can do. I'm honestly not sure. It might be the 30th, because I want to do the botanics. I wanted to do that with you because I thought it'd be really good. But the problem is the botanics show, I would probably have to book about the 6:30 show, which during the week is a bit difficult for people, especially when they're back at work. Because I had wanted to do it on the 2nd of January, but because of COVID they cancelled all the shows on the 2nd. So this show, 96. My show when I get back to Edinburgh later on tonight, 97. Yeah. Okay everyone, thank you so much for coming. I really enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Right, bye. Oh, thank you.